The situation of St. Monica's life would have made it really easy for her to become a nagging wife, a cantankerous daughter-in-law, and a despairing parent. But we see in Monica's life how God's grace can be at work and how God's work can transform families if we have patience and trust in God. St. Monica lived in the early 300s and was born to a man who was not a believing Christian. Neither was her mother-in-law. But through her example and through her steadfastness, they eventually came to believe in the faith. When her son Augustine, who was the oldest of her 3 children, was about 17, her husband passed away. And Augustine went off to study rhetoric, which was logic, another name for logic, off in college. And while in college, he got more involved in thoughts that were anti-Christian. He wasn't even yet baptized at that point, but he kept going farther and farther away from the faith. And so after her husband died, Monica went after him. He had left their home in North Africa and went to Italy, and eventually moved up to Milan, where he began to teach. There she looked for a spiritual director who became St. Ambrose. And St. Ambrose told her once that when she was with him and she was crying to her spiritual director, St. Ambrose, he said to her, "Look, the tears that are being shed are not going unheard. Those prayers that you are offering for your son will be answered one day." And it said that she cried so much for her family that she had permanent lines running down the side of her cheeks. Through her steadfastness, Augustine did become a Christian. In fact, he became a bishop, despite the fact that he had a child out of wedlock and he had been away from the faith. Through her prayers and her steadfastness, God saw her son back to the church and in a position of leadership as a bishop. Augustine, as you know, became Saint Augustine, who we'll celebrate tomorrow. But I think she's an example to us of someone whose patience saw the day. At the end of the time, through her steadfastness, God saw and answered. Especially in this time in which we live, where we like instant gratification and instant moments and responses, maybe we need a little more patience, that patience of St. Monica, and that trust that she had, that God will see us through, that God will take care of us. So today, as you think about your own family members and friends who have wandered away from the faith, I invite you to seek St. Monica's intercession and help, that she might help them come back.